I'm Brooke.
And I'm Nicholas.
And we're the Future Dreads.
This is a podcast all about our likes, dislikes, and loves.
And that's just
talking.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed last week's episode on long distance. And we really appreciate the comments and feedback that we're getting back from people. We hope that you're liking the podcast, and don't forget to tell us your ideas because we haven't gotten any yet and we're having to come up with them on our own. And sometimes that's nice and sometimes it's not.
Yeah, we got plenty of ideas.
We do. But, we want to do this long term.
We'll figure it out.
We might need a couple ideas.
We'll figure it out.
Never mind, we don't need you. Just kidding with you. So this week is going to be the first week that Nick does most of the talking. Because this is something all about his knowledge. Favorite video games?
No.
Should I go first or last?
I mean, I don't care. Probably last.
Okay, yeah.
Just
I only
'cause you
have
have
5.
Some random ones.
Well, I can tell you I don't think ours are going to overlap.
Probably not.
Oh, boom. Boom, boom. No, that's fine. That was a good beat.
Mm-hmm.
You can't deny that.
Beautiful.
The neighbors might not like it.
We have no neighbors on that side.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, so this week is going to be Nick talking about his favorite video games and me throwing in a few I've played at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you tell us how many you have and what you're going to be talking about for them?
Well, this is going to be my top 10 list. Is subject to change because video games come out all the time. So, things could fall, things could rise. Depends.
You're not laminating the list?
No, don't ever laminate top 10 lists. Time changes a lot. But it's my top 10 favorite video games that I have played. I have not played every video game. Probably
Ever?
I know, there's a lot of them.
You're a fake fan.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think when I started playing. Actually,
Before
probably
you can speak.
No, probably 10 or 11 is when I really started getting into it.
Okay, started getting into it and started playing or...
Started playing really 5 or 6. But started to actually get into video games probably 10 or 11.
Everyone please honor Nick's shirt that he wore in honor of the video games episode.
I went with the Mario shirt.
He has a lot. I think you have 10 shirts related to video games.
No.
Yes, when I was putting them together, I put them in the category of video games. You had at least 7.
Yeah, I guess I have an okay amount. It's not that many. I have more football shirts.
Yes. You do.
Mm-hmm. What? Alright, you want me to just start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let us know.
Alright, so number 10. I think it's the oldest game on the list. Released over in 2003. It's a kind of random game called Gotcha Force. It was only released for the Nintendo GameCube. It was one of my weird childhood favorite games. It's really honestly a bad game, but I learned, probably a few months ago that this is the most expensive game that I own. This game's worth about $300 in the box, which I do have in Ohio. And I will never sell it because, I sell the game because I want it.
Can I ask an ignorant question?
Yeah.
What is a Nintendo Cube?
Nintendo GameCube?
Yeah.
It's a video game system.
Like the PS4?
Yes.
But it's in the shape of a cube?
Yes. It's purple. Well, it could be other colors. Bless you. It could be another colors. Main one was purple, but it was shaped in a cube. It was Nintendo's console released after the Nintendo 64 and before the Wii. So right before when you got a game system.
No, I had a PS2.
That would be right about the time of the GameCube.
I'd never heard of it. Thank you for sharing your knowledge.
I'm so sad. But in this game, very weird. a star comes down, and basically the star is actually in a live toy. So the entire game is you collecting other toys to use and fight and blow up other toys. It's a great random chaotic game that I believe I officially beat it once, but I was really bad at it at first, so I'd always just play the first stage or like the first world, and then I'd stop and I'd delete that data, and then I'd play the first world again because that's how I played the games back then, just over and over because I didn't get bored. It's like watching the same TV show. It is.
So it's basically like a violent Toy Story?
To an extent. Except you gotta save the world in this one. From the evil toys.
I guess technically
But-
Toy Story 3 is kind of like that.
Yeah, sort of. But it's also it's a very creative game because since they are toys, it's small. So, like, it's not epic worlds that you're going through. You're fighting in, like, childhood bedrooms and, like, just outside of a house in a yard. So it's a very creative game. If you happen upon it, then I recommend it. But it is about $250 to $300 on eBay.
That's so insane.
It's the most expensive game I have. Not many were made. I don't know how my family stumbled upon it.
Do you still have a Nintendo Cube to be
Yes.
able to play?
Yeah, you can also play GameCube games on the Wii.
I've heard of a GameCube.
That's what I'm talking about.
I know, I've never heard it called Nintendo Cube.
It's not. I didn't say Nintendo Cube. Nintendo GameCube.
Oh, maybe I wasn't
It was
listening.
just the Nintendo part is the company that made the GameCube.
Moving on, number 9.
Number 9. Another great Nintendo game. I believe the newest game on the list, so oldest to newest. But Super Smash Ultimate, released in 2018, the 5th game released in the Super Smash series. It's a great fighting game, but the main reason it's on here is because my family and I have played about over 65 hours worth of it on the Switch. It's a game that whenever I'm with my siblings, we just turn it on, we'll play a few normal rounds, and then we'll just go crazy with it. We'll all be random. Sometimes once we went with all random, and then as we played, we made up stories of the characters that we were playing, and it got really weird really fast.
That's the most your family thing I've ever heard.
Rebecca especially loses her mind very quickly in this game. She has so many random backstories to so many random characters that don't make sense. Every character in here already has a backstory from a video game, but not in their world because they don't follow video games as much. So we have a lot of nonsense backstories throughout all of it. It's very crazy. We play a chaotic way. It's just great memories with my family.
Oh,
It's a good game. It's good. And then number 8 is Super Mario Galaxy, released in 2007 for the Wii.
the Wii!
I know, one
You
game.
had a Wii game on there?
I did have a Wii game. It's
Oh my goodness.
one of the best, I think, my favorite Wii game ever. Probably my favorite regular platformer. So I love platforms, but this one's probably my favorite. It is just a beautiful, creative, awesome Mario game where whenever Nintendo's able to kind of branch out and do whatever they want, when you throw Mario in space, planets can be whatever. So they've made candy planets. You always got the lava and snow stuff.
Of course.
It's a
I'm sorry, I just thought of a game that I didn't include on my
okay.
list. I'm sorry.
I saw you light up. But it's so good. It's the best. It's got a great hub world. Amazing, an interesting story / lore to it as you will slowly find out why you're kind of on this planet and who you're with Rosalina and all the Luma stars, and why Lumas exist, and who she is.
I feel like you're speaking a foreign language already, and we're on number 8.
I know.
When you said a Luma star, I was like, okay, obviously
Luma
those
stars
are animated in some way.
Oh.
But then you said she, and I was like, is there a
Rosalina,
leader of the stars?
Yes, Rosalina is the leader of the stars.
Was she a person?
Yes. Well, I think. Magic person. But she is the leader, or caretaker more, of the Luma star. Of the Lumas, which are just little tiny stars. Are those
bouncing stars in Mario games?
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
That you can shoot at people in Mario Kart?
Shoot at people. I don't know what stars you're talking about in Mario Kart.
When you get the star power.
That'd be the invincibility star.
You're invisible when that happens?
Invincibility.
Oh.
That's the star you collect at the end of the levels.
Oh, I
Of
don't know
Mario.
about that.
Maybe we should make you play a Mario game. Maybe you enjoy it.
I played Mario Kart.
That's not quite a Mario game.
And Mario Brothers or whatever when you say Princess Peach.
That would be a Mario game.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to get you play more of those. You'll start learning the buttons better.
I'm not good at the buttons. That's one of the most confusing parts of video games.
I know. That's why we have to find you a good game that you can learn them with.
Okay.
But yeah, Mario Galaxy. Best Wii game they have. If you randomly have a Wii still, and you haven't played Mario Galaxy, I don't know why you have a Wii.
That's violent.
It was one of the better selling games ever.
I've never heard of it.
That's because you're you. And now another game that you, I'm sure, have never heard of. XCOM 2, released in 2016.
I've heard of that.
You have heard of that.
It has that weird ghost, like Voldemort-looking character on it.
That would be an alien made of skulls.
So basically, I'm right.
I guess.
I've heard of that one.
That is, you've probably seen me start it up or something.
I don't know.
Or you've seen the box in my room
No.
when you know. You didn't see the box? Mm-mm. Then why do you know what's on it?
Because I know what that game is.
Interesting until you randomly know this one.
I'm full of interesting facts. You guys will get to know.
But this is a strategy RPG type of game where each turn you get to have a certain number of moves to move your units and do stuff with. It's, of course, not the second in the series. It's just more continuing the story of the first games, which had a bunch of spin-offs. But this game, aliens have captured the world in XCOM 1, and now they are using political propaganda to make it seem like they're not evil. When they are, and it's your job, as this kind of used to be a highly government-funded program called XCOM, which stands for Extraterrestrial Combat Unit.
I wanted to guess what I meant.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you have guessed that?
No. I knew extra.
Extra. But is...
Or extraordinary.
Extraordinary. But you just go through this game. It's one of those games where you start off basically with nothing as you slowly get better and better weapons and better units. And just have to figure out a way to stop all the aliens from slowly getting rid of all the humans and using their resources for I want to say they're trying to drain all the life from people to help
It's so violent.
It's nothing. It's a decently violent game. But yeah, slowly drain all the life so they can heal their leaders up. But a great combat system / not great combat system. Every time, so you have to move your units into like different positions in cover, and then of course they do the same. but every time you shoot at something, it's not like guaranteed to hit. It gives you like a 75% chance depending on where location you're in. And sometimes the game hates you and you'll be hitting at something with like a 95% chance to hit it, and then your unit misses, and then it dies. And then you can either play where you reload the game, or you can do what is called an Iron Man route, which is where you never reload any game. So anything that happens, happens. If your units die, they're dead. They don't get to... There's permadeath in this, which is always fun in video games. There's like an actual stress level.
It would just be death for me then.
It would, but you would not make it
It would
far.
just be death on the game.
You would not make it very far. Oh, that's your list. But it's a great game. I played it on the PS4 because I do not own a fancy gaming PC. Sadly. Until you buy
Shame
one
on
for
you.
me.
Nope, that won't happen.
It won't happen. And then... And number 6 is a game I just recently played, released in 2008, remastered, in I think about 2016. It's called Valkyria Chronicles. I played it on the PlayStation 4. This game's story is the first story I think I kind of like actually fully fell in love with. I took about, I think about 35 hours to beat this game. I didn't do it. It didn't take me too long to put all that time in. What? Is that a lot of hours for you?
No.
No? It's not a lot of hours?
No. Because I know what your arguments will be if I say it's a lot of hours.
Because you watch a lot of TV. But this game's story, it made me want to name my children after the characters in the game, which will not be allowed, since that would be Alicia and Welkin. And I don't like the name Welkin for a kid.
Welkin? Like Welken?
Yeah, I believe that's how it's spelled.
And then Alicia?
Alicia.
No, I don't like that either.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, yep.
But the game story was so good. It's based on the fake Second European War. So it kind of takes place in Europe, but a fake Europe, where the kingdom of Galilee, or...
Galilee? Like the Bible?
Not Galilee, sorry.
Galatia.
It's close to it, though. Gallia, that's the name. It's close to Gallia. But Gallia is trying to remain neutral in this war between East and West. And they can't remain neutral because then they start attacking them. So then you have to take control of Squad 7, led by Welkin, to help save all of Gallia. As you continue to go through the story, and Welkin and Alicia's love starts to bloom because there's love in war, and it's beautiful. And you actually get to see them start out as pretty much just not knowing each other and not liking each other, since their first interaction was her trying to arrest him.
Mm-hmm.
And then they slowly develop feelings, and at the very end you get to see them. She wanted to be a baker, so she opened her little bakery shop, and they have a little kid.
Oh.
It's adorable. It also deals with other problems.
You should have said spoiler alert.
Oh, spoiler alert. But it also goes into weird racism, but not like our racism. Instead of it being skin color, it's racist in hair color. So the people with black hair, I believe, are called Darksons. And everyone blames them.
Darksons?
Yes, Darksons. So everyone hates people with black hair because they believe they caused torture and fire and brought down all the cities, basically. When that is not true. They were just the blamed ones.
Yikes.
But you get to follow another girl, Rosa, who goes through this, starting out hating Darksons. And Welkin's little sister, Asara, is a Darkson, and they slowly develop a friendship. And spoiler alert, but midway through, Asara gets shot, and dies. So then Rosa has to go out and live and try to help teach people that they're not bad because she found out that through Azara that they're not. It's a very beautiful story.
That does sound like a sweet
That's a
story.
great one.
I would like to watch you play it.
We can try. The gameplay is great. It's similar to XCOM, but where you have to move your units in a correct location. It's a little better with the aiming. It doesn't feel like it's cheating you normally, but it's a great game. I am excited to play more of them. At least one more.
It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I love how passionate you are about these.
It was such a good game. I didn't think... It's also a game that I watched my older brother play. And if you're watching, Caleb, you should go and try to beat the game, because I was able to beat it. And for some reason, he never could. To this day.
You're lame, Caleb. You're lame. That's what we're saying.
But it was a tough one. It took me a few tries to finally figure it out on how to beat it. But it was a game that I remember sitting in his room watching him play. And then I got it and I got to play it. I also remember hating the story parts as a younger person because I just wanted to see him play the actual video game.
I always skip the story.
I regret that because the story is the best part of the game. Combats and the gameplay is great. The story is why I played the game, though. And then, next on the list is Batman Arkham City, released in 2011. The second one released in the Batman Arkham games. It's the first one I played of this. I just also think it's the best one. I think it has the most Batman atmosphere to it, as the city's just kind of destroyed by the Joker. Because who else? You don't ever feel like a superhero. Capturing the feeling of a superhero is something that very few have done. Batman's one of the few that have accomplished this about 4 times over, almost 5 once this new game is released. Wow. But it's great. The whole fighting system of dodging and just everything feels so good as you have the secret, or when you're in the stealth mode missions, as you have to just slowly take everyone out, as no one can find you because you're Batman and you're the best. You slowly get upgrades. The story's amazing as Batman tries to find the cure for the poison that he was taken, but he will never, stop because he will never quit. He must save the city, even if the city's destroyed.
Does that one vibrate when you get hit too?
What?
Does that one vibrate when you get hit too, like Spider-Man?
Like the controller? Yes, that's not a new thing.
Oh. I always thought that was like a 2018
That's pretty normal.
Oh.
That was back when they invented the Rumble Pack in the 90s. They kind of established that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I feel stupid.
It's okay. And then, number 4, the first game in my favorite series of all time, Ratchet Deadlocked, in the series of Ratchet & Clank. This is the 4th game released in the storyline. I don't know what it is about the Ratchet & Clank series, but I love them so much. I don't even know. I remember the first game I played, it's on my honorable mentions, but it was Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal. I want to say that might be the first game I ever beat, fully.
Sentimental.
Yeah, and that one didn't make it, but...
Well, that's disappointing.
It's not as good. I like this game a lot better. I think this one has a lot more just arcade fun as you're captured and brought into a gladiator deathmatch type of deal. As you will fight other heroes / villains who just are out to kill you for money.
Oh, yikes.
I also kind of love it because they film it on the Vox Network, VOX, because that is the main villain's name. The fact that the whole main villain, his whole scheme is just he wants money, and you're on a reality television show. That's
what
happening.
Ratchet and Clank is about?
No, just this one game.
Oh.
Is getting off this reality television show and destroying it. Because you can't have random heroes being captured to go die. That's not good. But it's just it's so fun. I need to go back and play it here soon.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Ratchet and Clank just released a brand new game.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, you should goodness it because it's on the new system that I don't own. And so I need to spend money to play it, and I don't have that type of money.
That's fair. Yeah, we don't.
But
if you want to finance Nick's
I need
love for video
I need a few more games before I can justify buying a PlayStation 5. But I've beaten this game so many times. I remember playing it over and over as a kid, just because I could. There's no other reason. It's just a fun game as you just go through all the different gladiator worlds. They also have these announcers that just kind of commentate on you the entire time. As a kid, I thought they were the greatest thing ever. As an adult, they're still pretty funny. And they're just so stupid. And just the fact that you have two random people who don't know what they're talking about commenting on what you're currently doing is funny to me.
Is it like reality TV hosts?
Yeah, to an extent. It's kind of like a sporting event. The announcers in football, that's what they're doing. Okay. Except
so it's reality TV host.
Yeah, it's a reality TV host. Which is great as you fight hordes of robot zombies.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's the best. And then number 3 is my personal favorite superhero game and favorite superhero.
Spider-Man.
Yes, Spider-Man for the PS4.
Spider-Man.
And yes, that is kind of its official name.
Spider-Man.
I guess it's Marvel's Spider-Man.
Marvel Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
What are you doing?
Spider-Man. Spider-Man. I like it.
It's beautiful.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm. But
it's the noise of a spider.
yes, it is.
How could you know?
But it's my personal favorite superhero game. It captures Spider-Man so well. It also somehow, just the whole style of the game is great. You really feel like Spider-Man as you play, and you swing through the entire city, going from building to building, because that's the quickest way across. There's technically fast travel in this game, where it can just take you to one point to the other. I never used it because
You never told me that.
Well, you didn't unlock that.
Oh. He doesn't let me play on his level or whatever.
Well, my game's completely finished. I 100%ed it. So there's nothing else to do.
I've played this game many times. I'm very good at it.
A handful.
On a scale of total trash to basically pro, where would you say I'm at?
Total trash to pro? I don't know.
On this game.
On this one game. I mean, dirty dishes?
Oh no.
I
I have some work to do.
You got a lot of work to do. I think you died more in the first hour on Rookie than I might have died in
the entire game.
In the hardest difficulty throughout the whole story. So, not off to a great start, but
we'll get there, okay?
You'll get better. It's a hard game to start out with. It's decently complicated. A lot of buttons.
The fact that you have to turn... You use one joystick to turn your head, and then the other joystick to move is so confusing to me. I'm running at full speed into a building while my head is up, and then someone's shooting at me. I don't know which button to press, so I just press all of them. I need games where it guides your eyes. That would be nice. Are those games out there?
They are, and they're normally older games.
Cool.
It's called Auto Lock. Most
Let's do that.
people don't like that because it focuses them on one area when they need to see the surrounding area.
I feel like that would be a good point to put rookies on.
I mean, it's hard when the other areas are still moving, though. Also, I don't know if this game has auto lock. But it's a great game. Also, a very weird game to go back to replay in 2020 because, I guess, spoiler alert if you haven't played this one yet. But it starts, you're just going through it, and then Doc Ock is created and releases a devil's breath, which is a virus, as we go through the pandemic in 2020. So now we have people wearing masks in the game and going to the hospitals and Feast, which is where the homeless who need help go. And it's full of sick people. I'm like, oh good, 2020. And then you get a out of country, I guess, special force kind of policing thing. So now you also got police brutality going on with riots in the street because then they released prisoners from the jails or they didn't release them. They broke into the jails and got the prisoners released. So now you have riots in the streets, bad cops, and pandemic. So it predicted 2020 and 2018.
Wow, that's freaky.
It was
Who made that game?
It was quite a weird game to play. I believe this was Sony who made this. Oh no, it's not Sony. It's my favorite publisher, Insomniac. Published by Sony. Insomniac holds 1, 3,
There's
and 4.
an Insomniac cookie company, and they are in Boone and have really good cookies.
They didn't make video games though. But a very.
What if you were eating Insomnia cookies while playing Insomnia video games?
Well, it's Insomniac, but.
Insomniac.
Yeah. I don't know what the cookies are called.
Insomnia.
Okay. But.
I feel bummed.
It's a great. It truly makes you feel like you are Spider-Man, even though you're just sitting in your living room with the controller in your hand. But it's great. Don't recommend playing in 2020. But that time has passed.
That time has passed. I don't recommend going back to the past.
No, don't do that. It was a little weird to start replaying and then be like, oh goodness, this is
real.
This is what's happening in the world. Luckily, that just happened in New York.
Nick saved us, by the way.
Well, Spider-Man. But it's also a very weird game. Any Marvel game or any Marvel thing takes place in a real world thing. Because Batman takes place in Gotham City, which is completely made up. Spider-Man takes place in New York, full on. So there's a few things here and there that are different, but like you can visit the Empire State Building and you can visit Radio City
Spider-Man.
Music Hall and just have Spider-Man climb there. Now there are a few liberties. The Avengers Tower exists in this game.
I wish the Avengers Tower was in New York. I would go.
They should build it.
I would go.
Reason. That's fun.
It should just be an office space, but it just says Avengers.
That's once Iron Man exists in real life.
That'd be cool.
Well, I don't know about it being cool.
Well,
I don't know if I trust anyone with the super suit.
That's fair. I'm sure they already have them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they already exist.
I'm sure they probably do somewhere.
Conspiracy theory. Who wants a conspiracy theory podcast?
I don't know if I have that many.
We'll just make up conspiracy theories. On the fly.
Oh.
No written down. No script.
That sounds great.
It could get way out of hand.
It's very weird. Oh, goodness. But.
Is this number 1?
No, this is number 2.
No, your next one is it number 1?
No, this is number 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Spider-Man's number 3. And number 2 is Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the PlayStation 2, not the PlayStation 4, because they went really weird with the naming here. Because there's Battlefront 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 2. And then on the PlayStation 4, they made Battlefront 1 and 2, even though they're completely different games. They're not like remakes They're completely different versions. So the PlayStation 2 one is the one that I grew up playing. It was released in 2005.
That's the one that we played, right?
No. We played the PlayStation 4 version.
Oh.
This is different. This is...
I'm not good at any of them.
Well, this is because you also have to use 2 analog sticks.
See, that's the first mistake.
This first mistake. Normal camera controls.
Yeah, no, none of those.
This is why we have to get you on a Mario game. It's better. They're simpler. But I played this game for so many hours. But it was originally Caleb's game. I watched him play every once in a while. Or when he wasn't playing, I would play. When he got his PlayStation 3, I'd play the PlayStation 2. So that's kind of why there were so many. That's why there's a few PlayStation 2 games on here. But it's a game that kind of taught me Star Wars. I don't even think I'd seen any Star Wars when I was playing this game.
Oh, wow.
Based on Star Wars. But after I watched them, I was able to learn a lot more about the world of Star Wars through this game.
Very true.
Okay.
No, I've watched Star Wars and it taught me more by playing the game the few times I have.
Oh, yes. But, yeah, you're able to learn a lot more just about the planets and the actual names of all the planets that they visit.
If you're a girlfriend or fiance or husband or whatever trying to learn Star Wars, I'd recommend playing the games because it gets wildly confusing.
Oh, it's getting worse because now more games are releasing.
Yikes.
Now there's a whole bunch of random stories. But it's such a good game as you just get to fight on random planets. Like, you just get to go to quick action and just fight wherever you want, pretty much. It's great. And they also have a fantastic campaign. It's not very long, probably just a few hours worth. But it's where you follow the members of the 501st, which is a clone trooper unit that was created for these special missions. And you get to follow their whole story on being part of the Republic and then slowly turning into the Empire as you just get to fight all their little battles. It's a very fun game. I still go back to play it every once in a while, even though it's 16 years old.
Yikes.
It's a teenager. And then, do you know what my number one video game is?
Ratchet and Clank.
Do you know the extra title to it?
Number 2.
No. I want to say it's number
7.
6. It might be 7.
I was right.
Pretty
guys.
sure it's 6. But it's Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time, released in 2009.
I knew that.
Well,
Dang
you didn't say it.
Well, I'm so sorry that I've heard you say it probably twice.
I've said it so often. I'd say it way more than I probably should. But
The lies.
But yes, this is my favorite game of all time. This is the game that really roped me into gaming. I've probably beat this game. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 20 plus times.
I was kidding, I guess.
I mean, I'm not positive on the exact number by any means, but I used to sit in Caleb's room for hours playing this game. It only lasts about 11 hours. And then after I beat it, I would normally be done for the day, and then I'd come back later, come back the next day, and restart it and play it again. Because that's what you do.
Caleb, it sounds like you were the one that started all of this.
Yeah. He is. He's the one who got me into video games. And Ratchet and Clank. Because he owned it. But I would just sit in there forever. And Ratchet and Clank and a lot of games now have a thing called New Game Plus, where after you beat the game, you can restart the game, but you have all your same weapons and equipment. So you don't actually restart from the beginning. The enemies are a little harder, but you have all the fun place toys still. But I would just continually beat this game over and over and over again. It's a game that I do need to go back and play here soon, eventually.
Of course.
Well, every once in a while, you gotta go back to your favorite one. Just repeat it, cause
That's
why
all I
not?
did.
But it's a great shooting platformer. It has some of the. It's not really an het or hub world, but you just get to fly around in your ship to go to different little planets and explore. Then you go to the big ones, and those are your main missions as you try to find Ratchet's rest of his Lombaxes who were sadly murdered in a war that they caused.
At that they caused?
Well, sort of cost. They trusted someone they shouldn't have. It's okay. We already killed him in a past game.
Oh, thank goodness.
But the weapon creativity in Ratchet & Clank is amazing. I think Crack in Time, for me personally, is the best story mode, as you learn all about or go through all of time and how none of it really makes sense. And the great clock, which is in the exact center of the universe, give or take 50 feet. That's what it is in the game. It's give or take 50 feet of the exact center of the universe.
So I think we've learned that you only like storytelling games.
I don't only like storytelling games. Mario isn't like fully storytelling. XCOM doesn't have the greatest story.
But you like storytelling games.
I enjoy storytelling games. If you're gonna be a great game, you have to have a good story. Otherwise, you're just some gameplay called Call of Duty. Call of Duty, not a great story. But it's still a very fun game if you want to really sit down and play it.
Now, why do you love video games so much? What is it about them that attracts you to them year after year?
What?
What attracts you to video games year after year?
After year? I mean, I see them just as like a very similar thing into television / movies. Because I just find them as another entertainment source. If, like, a lot of people choose TV shows. Some choose to love movies. And others choose to play a video game. But I think video games are some of the most creative that you can be, even more so than books sometimes. Only because you can do so much in video games now. You didn't used to be this way. But you can make entire worlds that just go on forever and that you can never actually see everything in. It's great. It's the only genre of entertainment that stops you for being bad. If you are bad at a game, it doesn't let you see the rest of the game. And I just wish other things did this.
How?
They couldn't. It would not be possible. But I wish you were like watching a movie on like Disney Plus, and it was like, stop. Here's your trivia question. Can you answer this? If not, you have to rewatch it. You gotta try it again. Can you imagine a book after every time you beat a chapter, you have to do a task?
Oh, I would have failed all the books. I can't.
You have to tell the book that you have been paying attention and are good enough to continue.
No, I would never be good enough to continue.
It's such a different way to have entertainment brought to you, where you actually have to try to do something in order to move on.
Yeah. I'm all yawny today.
Oh no.
Well, if you've stuck around this long through all of that and knowing games that most people probably wouldn't, I'm here to save you and tell you games that probably most people have played.
At least 2.
So, I would say my number 5 favorite video game would be Mario Kart. I remembered some while you were talking, so my list has changed.
That one's off the list?
I just...
Wait, which kind of Mario Kart?
The one that was on the Wii when I was a kid.
That would be called Mario Kart Wii. I was seeing if you knew the extra Wii name.
Mario Kart Wii!
And good.
I just really enjoyed it. We had the little steering wheels that went with it and everything. And I thought it was just so much fun. We played it as a family. we didn't play many video games as a family, and so, or video games at all, any of us. But that was one that we played together a lot, and it was just so much fun, crashing the cars into each other and everything like that. It was a good game.
Crashing the cars into each other?
Yeah, we would just run each other off the road. We wouldn't aim to win.
Did you play battle mode ever?
There's a battle mode?
Yeah, that's where you run into each other with cars.
No, we did not play that.
It's a whole mode in the game. I like how you were able to play a mode in the game, just not the mode.
We made it up.
I did not know.
What are you doing?
I didn't know that you didn't always just play the game right.
No. Anyways, moving on. Number 4 would be the probably Wii Resort. Oh. We really enjoyed that because there were so many different games because we got bored easily with doing the same one over and over. And I loved the one where you flew the planes and shot out of the planes and hit the bubbles, but you had to, or the balloons, and then you had to go through the light up thing, and then you got extra points, and you tried to shoot each other down and everything. Yeah. And then you did the fruit slicing, and you did, the jet skis. Or wakeboarding. I was bomb at wakeboarding. I did all of the flips. I was like, man, I need to get out on a wakeboard and do this. Like, I'm a pro. And it was just, the canoeing was trash.
Yeah,
I
that
swear.
Was never good.
I would be like paddling, and it would go nowhere. I would just be like in a circle, and I'm like, all right, well, that's the worst. We're not playing that anymore.
Yeah, canoeing was never the greatest.
But
you remember the basketball on it?
Yes. Lauren always beat me in the basketball one, which I didn't love. I could never get it to shoot. It would be like, you held the ball.
It sounds like you just didn't know how to use a Wii remote.
I probably didn't.
That sounds like what
We never read an instruction manual.
You don't read an instruction manual. You just have to figure out how the Wii remote is going to sense it.
I tried.
Not hard enough.
Whatever. I would say number 3 would be the snowboarding game. That was apparently called Tricky SSX by EA Sports. Big. Mm-hmm. That was so much fun. I was always Alexa. She was the only blonde in the whole thing, and she was so mean. Her little voice that would come on would be like, "Get out of my way, you're trash!" And she would like call all the other people ugly. I was like, oh no, this is
fun fact about Brooke and this game. Slash her whole PlayStation 2.
No, I didn't know that this was ever a thing.
I don't know how you don't know this is a thing. This is very basic video game functions. Ever since we made it to... No, we did it in the NES days in the 1980s.
What did you even say? DNES?
The NES days.
NES.
Back in Nintendo Entertainment System. Nintendo's first main console.
Okay.
But when I arrived here in North Carolina, I brought along, of course, some video games. And she showed me her old PlayStation 2.
That I still had.
She still has. I still have it in the other room, actually. It's not hooked up. I believe I had mine hooked up. Because I have 3 of them. But only 2 here. But she had these 2 memory cards. So I was just going to see what was on there, how much room was left. And there was nothing saved. There are 0 items saved.
I didn't know there were memory cards.
They apparently stuck them in the unit and then never saved a single thing.
I didn't know you could
ever.
Save it.
They played the Snowboard SSX Tricky or whatever it's called. There's a lot of, just from what I saw when he played it for a little bit, there's a lot of stuff to unlock and characters you can upgrade to make them better. Like, there's a lot of different maps. You played the same 3 maps forever without any care.
I just thought we weren't good enough to unlock.
Well, you just didn't play long enough. Or play the story mode, which would have been the other thing. But I just found it very funny that you never saved anything on the PlayStation.
To be fair, it wasn't by choice. We were just like, oh no, we'll just keep playing the
No.
same thing. We didn't know it was a thing.
No, the Wii, you were able to save because apparently I didn't know it was save proof, but
Oh.
you were able to. It automatically saved your game.
I was gonna say, then we probably would have just been on the same levels of the Wii.
The Wii
too.
just automatically saves it. It has the memory inside of the unit.
Well, I liked the snowboarding game because
I just find it hilarious.
we finally figured out towards the end of our time with the game that you could do flips.
Wait, what? That's the whole point of the game.
No, we just rode.
You play video games very weird.
And we would try to knock each other over off the boards.
I think that's kind of the difference between like why I like video games. Is because I love video games because there's something that I can get better at. And
we were like, let's
you
round.
can feel better at the end of the game from when you started at the beginning of the game. Feel more powerful and more just feel highly or more skilled. Where you never like went towards that path. Like
we were never skilled.
You were never like trying to get better. You were never like beating a high score.
No.
You were just let's race down the hill again.
Yeah. Isn't that the most pure form?
I guess so. No competition needed.
No, but we saw it as a competition.
I know, you somehow saw the competition. You somehow made it less of a competition and still had a huge competition.
But it was always so frustrating because the game glitches itself, but you can't get out of the glitch. So we would just be like, why are we stuck on the top of this building and can't get off?
Yeah, I did run into a few of those.
Yeah.
Has a lot of holes you fall into.
But Lauren and I played that one a lot. Number 2 would be Mario Brothers Save Peach on the Wii.
Alright. She's trying to sing New Super Mario Brothers for the Wii.
Yes.
There's no game called Mario Brothers Save Peach. But New Super Mario Brothers for the Wii, I believe, does exist.
So we really liked this game. We put hours in this. Like, we would have friends come over and we're like, you have to help us get this world unlocked. We actually knew that there were worlds that you had to go to.
I think that's
on
what's
this one.
fun. You got to progress through a game.
And I remember we never beat it because that last level. No, I did. I beat it.
Okay. You
Once.
beat a game.
That's the only game I've ever beat. When you had to defeat the big. Is it Bowser at the end?
You had to beat Bowser to beat him.
Yeah, I saved her. So that was a big deal. I love all the different worlds you had to go through. The underwater world, the lava world. That last world quest or whatever, the last game that you have to play to beat it was so difficult. And that you only got 3 lives is so frustrating. I need like 7.
Well, you could get more.
Did you have to buy it?
No, you just had to go back to levels that you knew existed with lives and then just play those a few times. Well.
We didn't know that.
Yeah, you just had to go back and it's called. This is gonna sound weird, so don't laugh. My sisters always laugh, but it's called grinding in video games. Where you have to go back and do something over and over again to get more levels or better items. Yes, I don't know why it's called that. I'm sure it probably existed before that other term, before it became something else.
But we just really liked that. We had a lot of friends come over and try to help us beat the world and everything. We'd spend hours and hours trying to beat that one. But I just loved all the different characters and all the different worlds that you had to go to. So that was a lot of fun. By the way, obviously my explanations of why I like the video games were fun.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you a storyline because obviously I didn't follow them.
Yours didn't really have storylines.
But number 1, I don't remember the official title.
I know it.
Sing Star Pop.
There you go.
I called it Pop Star Sing.
Not quite.
So totally backwards. But it was so much fun for someone like me. So if you don't know, Pop Star Sing is...
Sing Star Pop.
Sing Star Pop is a game where you had microphones and you got to sing to all the hit songs, and it like you had to follow the tune and everything. Like my childhood best friend Elizabeth and I would play this for days.
Never saved it.
It wasn't saved?
No, you have no save data on the memory cards.
Oh no.
The bright side is that I have 2 free memory cards. But no, none of your high scores were ever
We need
saved.
to sing. I want to unlock the songs.
Why?
Because
You can sing.
now I figured out as an adult that you didn't actually have to sound good or sing the actual words.
No.
You just needed to match whatever pitch was on the bars that you needed to follow.
All that
But
matters.
it was so mean to children. It would be like, boo, you're the worst. It'd be like, that is amateur level. And we're like, oh man, we literally took it as like an insult on our singing. We're like,
Gosh.
we have to do better. Like the game is being honest with us.
You're at
and
least
telling-
trying to follow the bar on the
The
screen.
coolest thing about it was we were probably, I don't know when that game came out. We were probably like 7, 8.
Yeah.
And, you know, MTV wasn't a thing that we necessarily knew about because we were too young. And YouTube was like maybe just beginning. I don't even
Probably
know.
like it came out in 2005.
Yeah, so we didn't know about that either. So all music videos to the popular songs that we knew, we'd never seen. And one of the cool things about SingStar Pop is that it plays the music video in the background. And especially to Beautiful Soul by Jesse McCartney. That video was risque for Jesse McCartney and for 7-year-olds.
For 7 years.
And we thought we were the baddest. We were like, oh my goodness, she's in a bra. Like,
Yeah.
goodness gracious, we're living life. We're adults, basically. Give us our driver's license. We're gone. It was just so cool to see the music videos to all the songs that we liked. And we would be dancing. Like, we did a full performance for the video game. Like, we would be in the basement sweating. And we'd be like, we have to try this one more time. It still gave us amateur status. We really need to
It
give...
might be because you were dancing instead of singing.
We need to give it our all this time. And we would do like the same moves, like Destiny's Child. What's the name of the song? It's like, I'm a survivor. I'm not
I'll
gonna
be
give
survivor.
up. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna work harder. And it like, whoa, 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 whoa. We would literally be doing all the moves that Beyonce was doing. We were like, yes, yes, hit, hit. And we'd try to reach all of those notes and everything. And there's one, I chime in, haven't you people ever heard of?
I write
And if
songs,
a-
not tragedies.
If a song had cuss words in it, it would just do like little stars because it gave you the lyrics, like you were on karaoke, but it like blurred, like you didn't know it ever cussed. So we thought, because we kept getting lower scores on that song, and at that part, we thought, oh, we're supposed to say beep, 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 beep. So we'd be like, I chime in, haven't you people ever heard of closing the beep, beep, beep door? No. It's much better to face these kinds of things. Listen to Poison Rationality. I chime in, haven't you people ever heard of?
I really love how
I can sing better than that, by the way.
little Brooke and her friend never figured out how to actually play the game. We just decided to try other things besides match the pitch.
Yeah.
You're like, clearly it's dancing. That's clearly the problem and why we're losing the singing game. Is because the magic camera that not existing can see us dance and it knows we're trash.
Oh my goodness. No, we just loved that game, and I would get Lauren to play it with us. It was so much fun. Oh, and that one, I see a red door and I want to paint it black. I hated that song, but Elizabeth loved that song. And I was like scared of the song because in the music video, I was like, please don't play it. I'm not even going to look. I'm going to turn around. Which is bad when you're trying to match pitch, but
Well, yeah.
I would be like, I see a red door. But that would be it. I just figured out an honorable mention would be Just Dance, but just the first one. Like, the rest of them are kind of garbage.
Okay.
I 100% thought
what year would that be?
the first one.
Speaking of Just Dance, they just announced today, or not today, during the gaming convention that Just Dance 2022 will not be on the Wii, which means that the last game I believe ever published for the Wii will be Just Dance 2021. There was a game released in 2021 or 2020, I think, for the Nintendo Wii. So I think it's officially dead.
Oh.
Poor Wii. It had not the best run. Or had a great run. It just didn't have the
For a
greatest.
few years.
Yeah, it just ended.
But I would say an honorable mention would be that. I thought I was going to pee in your downstairs living room floor playing that with your sisters. Oh my goodness. I was crying laughing playing.
There you that one.
If you know, you know.
I don't know what the song is called.
But what were your honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh, that stupid one with Rainbow in the space.
I guess. There's a lot of other tracks, but yes, it has a Rainbow Road. All of them do.
I hate that one.
Overcooked, a multiplayer random cooking game I play with my family. What were some other ones? There is Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal, of course. You threw it that way. That's pretty much it. I mean, not much.
Well, we hope, you're inspired to play all these video games.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you're liking the top 10 list that we make. This is just us. If you have topics that you want our top 10s on, that would be great because we enjoy doing them and making them.
Oh yeah. I love these.
Yes, when we decided to start a podcast, Nick was like, we have to do top 10s. They're the best part.
They're a thing that I've watched on YouTube since I was probably in 6th grade.
Wow. I'd never watched them. So we're different, if you couldn't tell by now.
Mm-hmm.
But we hope you're enjoying the podcast. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this channel. We love our core people, and we definitely want to still grow our audience as well. We hope that you're sticking around because you like us. But please, 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 please give us recommendations of what you want to see.
Yes.
And what you've liked so far. Do you like when we talk about random stuff? Do you like when we talk about us? Do you like... we're trying to do a podcast that still encapsulates everything. We don't want to just do, a podcast about couples.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we have enough knowledge yet to do that.
No, not quite.
But we're happy to share the knowledge we do have.
Uh-huh.
And the things that we're still learning.
Uh-huh.
We're still definitely learning.
We got a long time to go.
We'll definitely do some type of wedding planning episode at some point, probably when we get a little bit closer.
Yeah.
We're about 11 months away now.
Goodness.
Still seems so far away.
It is. But it's closer.
As each day passes.
We're about, 7 months closer?
Yeah, we've been engaged for a long time already.
Uh-huh.
But I love you.
I love you.
Love you more.
No.
It's true. I promise. Spider-Man. Alright, well, go sing SingStar Pop on the PlayStation 2 that you definitely still have.
Yeah,
or you can come over to our place and we can play it in the living room. I only have 2 microphones. We'll save the data, okay?
Yes.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. We will be back next week with an all-new episode of Judd Talking. Thank you so much. Have a great one, guys. Bye.